welcome to another edition of Wind Down Wednesdays with the Hicks marketing team. I'm Nicole Hoagland, and we always have Alicia Hicks, who is the owner of Hicks Marketing. Today, we're going to talk about time. Time is a super important factor for everyone, but there's a lot to talk about when it comes to time and marketing within your business. So Alicia, let's kick things off with, I know, some topics that you wanted to dive into.
Time. We sure got a taste of the first week of fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Our clients are telling us it's kill, kill, kill on time. And everybody's in a rush now as we realize we're coming into the last 90 days of the year. And of course, there's a couple of holidays in there. So it's really important to get things done. And it really got me thinking about, if you roll back to the first of the year, remember how excited we were for the new year, and you're really looking forward to getting a lot done, and that exuberance first quarter. How has that worked out? Mm-hmm. I mean, here we are, the 1st of October. What did you get done? What great ideas did you have that you were excited about? And where is that? Because I'm willing to bet there's still stuff on that list that never saw the light of day. It always happens that way, right? You get like, hey, it's January. And then I see this with a particular person's business who every year is like, oh, it's January. And then gets so crazy busy. And then we don't hear from him for a while. And, you get caught up in that tyranny of the now thing that I talk about. So time has really been on my mind. And then this weekend, I saw a lecture given by 2 economists and bought the book called Superabundance. This has nothing to do with marketing. But I bought the book. And of course, you'd really want to dive into that.
Yeah.
But the lecture really tied into time. And I'll give you a quick analysis. And by the way, this is an awesome feel-good book. If you're caught up in doom and gloom and the planet's going to explode in 10 years and life is terrible and everybody lives horribly, this is an economist's statistical analysis of what they see is really happening. And
we'll put a link in the description for anyone who wants to go and purchase it, or kind of look at it and kind of get a feel for if maybe they want it to. So
this is this just makes me feel, and it's a good chunky book. It makes me feel good holding it, but I'm a weirdo. So I'm watching this lecture, and here's the point that really hit me. They did an analysis on the price of bread in 1980 was 50 cents. Mm-hmm. The price of bread in 2018 was $1.50. Of course, right now it's probably a lot more, but you could draw the conclusion that bread is up. Oh my gosh, it's up 220 something percent. And that's terrible. If you go back, what they did is they went back and looked at inflation and adjusted it. And they looked at the median hourly wage in 1980 was like $6 an hour. And they contrasted that with the median wage per hour in 2018, which was like $26. And when they factored that in, the price of bread actually has gone down since 1980. Mm-hmm. And then that conversation went into, the reasons why we get better with manufacturing. Agriculture has gotten better with grain, and that has happened with so many things in our lives. And the reason it matters, again, having nothing to do with marketing, is, I promise there'll be a point here. People 100 years ago, people 1,000 years ago, spent the majority of their time just trying to get their basic needs covered. Mm-hmm. And as we got better and evolved, you didn't have to spend 8 hours of your day just feeding your family, working to feed your family, or whatever you were doing to feed your family. And that time shrank, and it left time open for you to do other things like advancing humanity, innovation and inventions. And the question was, if that $1.50 loaf of bread, how much of your day is spent how many minutes or seconds do you spend paying for the bread that you eat or your weekly food? And so what really sparked it for me was, everybody has 24 hours a day of time available. We're all on a level playing field with that. But how much basic work are you doing in your business to cover, to do your business? And what would happen if you had more time available to focus on growing your business and adding new products and services and actually the bigger picture things? And here we are in October, and everybody's excited about fourth quarter and getting things done and trying to hit their year and bring that in and be in the best position they can to come out in 2023, but they still have to deal with the annoying and your staff does the same thing too, right? When I was a sales manager, September was the hardest month of the year. It was busy, and we were planning, and our fiscal year started October, and I never had time to plan. Planning was always rushed and hurried. When I was a marketing director, I was always busy during the time that I was expected to do a big level plan, and having to force myself to make the time to actually think about it. And I used to be annoyed, like, why are people calling me during times when I'm not planning, and they never call with ideas, during the time that I'm looking for them. So tying that back around to, have you made the time, or will you make the time to do bigger, higher level planning for next year? How you're going to do business in somewhat of an uncertain economy, because no one has any idea what's happening today, let alone next year. And what's it going to take to get those ideas into action? And I think that's what you and I do so well, is we work with people both on that strategic side and the tactical implementation execution. So not only you as a business owner, a manager, or a marketing person, we backfill work for teams that are overloaded, so that they can move on to other things, because today everybody wants more, more from less.
Well, and I think too, it also, knowing that our sweet spot is not just being able to strategize and make time to commit to that planning aspect of it, but we also fill that basic need. We know that there's a basic need for marketing in your business. And if it's taking you 2 to 3 hours a day, or 5 to 10 hours a week doing that, and you are able to get that back, on top of having people who also force you to, in that time back, plan and execute and innovate, I think that that's where a lot of times some marketing agencies may miss that. They may be really good at strategy, but lack the implementation or the understanding of the basic foundations that still need to be done within the business. And then you probably have agencies that do really well with that implementation, but strategy wise, they can't figure it out because the implementation and the needs don't necessarily match what that strategy and implementation, or strategy and innovation, need to do. So,
well, we know there's a really awful valley of death between an idea
and how to get it done
and getting it done. Yeah. And that's where so much dies.
Well, and
in that valley of death, it's like, I have an idea and I don't know how to get it out into the world.
Yeah.
And we see that. And I think, of course, that's really what keeps me going, is that I love solving those problems. But sometimes people will say, I need to be emailing more, and I don't have a plan for getting that done. And how do I capture leads? And how do I get people just to call me? And we can definitely, that's what we do.
Well, with that, I mean, that's what we do, but we also, from idea to implementation and also still meeting that basic needs, it's the valley of death, like you said, where the idea can lead to something great, but then you get stuck in that valley and stuck on maybe some shiny objects that don't necessarily help you get to implement your idea, but along the way, they distract you from what you know you need to get done to implement it. And that's where I know one of the values that we get back, like feedback from clients, is we meet every week with our clients because we know that there is value in showing that small incremental progress as opposed to the overarching large aspect of things. And that time to them, even though it's maybe like 20 minutes or 30 minutes a week, they value that so much because they know in those 20 or 30 minutes, they're going to get something out of it. Right. And they never miss it. And that time to them is something that they hold dear on their calendar, which may not be able to be said for, some of the other things that are going on in their business.
I know. It's a fun, it's a fun call because everybody wants to see progress. Mm-hmm. And so much marketing is spent and people don't know, where did it go? What happened? Does it work? Do I stay with it? I don't know. I don't really feel it. And that's really been, mm-hmm. that's been, my goal has been, I've been on both sides of that. And I don't ever want that to happen where people say, I got an invoice. I have
What'd you do?
What happened? Why am I paying this? What are we doing again? We want our clients and they do. We want our clients to say, this is a lot of value for my business. Mm-hmm. And we need to keep going for, forever.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, there's two sides to the coin with that when it comes to like time and marketing and things like that. So we've kind of spoken on if you could get your time back and you could figure out more time to implement for innovation and ideas and figuring out the cost savings versus time spent marketing in your business versus time planning and having a tried and true team behind you that can get the work done and meet those basic needs. But there's also time in terms of how long does it take for those ideas and innovations to actually manifest into the results that you're looking for?
Oh, great point. How many times have we had to say to people, don't pull the plug on this yet?
Yeah.
If not for that weekly check-in analytics dashboard of here's the progress that's been made, you'd never be able to really get what am I looking for?
Like the full picture in terms of, did this idea actually pan out the way that you want it?
Is there life to this? Mm-hmm. I had somebody who called and we put together a special program and all excited. We knew exactly the steps had to be done. And they called and said, I just don't think now there's enough time. We just need to delay it. And mm-hmm. I'm like, we haven't even started yet. It'll be okay. There was concern about like, we're never going to get there in the time allotted. And I'm like, we haven't started. Let's try it. We'll see.
Yeah.
So I did a little arm twisting and we started and bang, it was a big hit. I mean, it was a big hit right away. And by that, I mean, it's obvious. People want it. It's working and we can grow from there. And then they were happy. And I'm like, you almost killed this. Worried about not enough time, but without really being able to immediately say, here's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. Let's go more, faster, farther with this. And it's the right, really, it was the right offering at the right time for the right people. Yeah. But without analysis, what do you know? And then you get busy, you get caught up in your business, you get far away from it. And you're like, did that work? I don't know. Should we do it again? I'm not sure. But when you are discussing these things weekly and I don't want to give the idea that those are very long, laborious conversations, but we just like, here's the high points, here's what happened, and here's what we think has got potential, and here's what we need to iterate. Mm-hmm. Because another thing that I got from the book is, as it relates to marketing, incremental gains consistently over time. That's how you win. Mm-hmm. That's like everything, right? If we can tweak what you're doing and make gains and forward movement and do it every week over a period of time, you will grow.
And I think we see that a lot too, especially in society today, where you have people come to you and say, okay, we can get you 1 million views on this video. We can have you go viral in a week. But what happens after that?
Right.
And a lot of times we're seeing marketing teams or departments say, okay, we're going to implement this. And they do it and they got something off of it, but then they move on to the next thing and they don't continue it. And then they move on to the next big thing and they try to implement it and make it go viral, but it doesn't work. So then they move on to the next thing. But if they would have just stayed with the original plan and consistently did it over time, the gains would have been more than that 15 minutes of fame for a video or a post or something that went viral in terms of what they were doing. And I think that's where also there's mismanaged expectations sometimes when it comes to marketing in the time it takes to actually see results, because you can get very quick results. You can throw thousands of dollars at advertising and trying to pay to play the game and see what happens. But what we've seen work is consistency and longevity in doing things can actually make it way more monetarily and cost effective for your business in terms of seeing that result, whether it's leads or exposure or even just seeing your audience grow over time, than trying to just kind of like do what the next big thing is or the next viral TikTok video or something like that.
Random acts of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And we, I get the sense of urgency. People they want action, they want it fast, they want to go, and they're susceptible to the shiny objects.
Mm-hmm.
I am susceptible to shiny objects. So I have
I think we all are. Like there are certain shiny objects that probably appeal to everyone.
Well, everybody wants to buy that one thing that's going to transform their business or take them to the next level. The easy way. It's easy. I'll just buy this, and then it never is easy, and it's never as fast as what they think. But that doesn't mean there's not necessarily value to it, because if you stay the course, and that is just true with everything. If you focus on it and try to improve it, make small incremental gains, and you stay with it over time, you're going to win the game. That's the magic. And it's really not magic, it's mathematics.
Yeah. Well, for example, too, we had a client where in the beginning of the year, they made a lot of pivots this year. Like a lot of the things that we're doing now aren't even relevant to what we were doing in the beginning of the year. But one of the things that they wanted to be consistent with is LinkedIn, whether it's posting or connections or things like that. And we kept telling them, okay, we'll do this for you, but we have to be consistent with it. And they didn't really pull the trigger until probably, like, I would say July or August. And now we're in October and we're just starting to see the fruits of everything that we've been doing for them. Because we know that when it comes to being consistent, it's not just being consistent for a week. It's literally over time, like months and months and months, to be able to do it and do it well and do it consistently, and seeing what needs to be tweaked and changed, that the results are finally starting to come into it. And those results are exactly what they're looking for. And it's leads and it's time on their calendar.
Right. Social media can be tricky, and we've all fallen into that. How am I going to get it to, who cares if 26,000 people read my article? Well, yeah, as part of an overall plan, having your messaging read by people, that has cumulative effects. It's not an instant that there's the viral home run is overrated. The main thing is you want to work the system where what you are distributing gets seen, gets noticed, and that people see you as a thought leader. And then it's such a small part of everything else that we do. There's a whole machine that we build for clients to get the end result. As you're going to grow your visibility, you're going to grow your business, and you're going to get more business. And again, it just all has to work together. So, hey, this is another week. It's a Wind Down Wednesday, and where is my wine?
Oh, I mean, we're recording this at 11. I mean, we really should be having maybe mimosas instead of wine at this point, since we are doing it at 11:30 in the morning. But
I'm open for that.
Next Wind Down Wednesday, we'll come with some sort of alcoholic beverage.
More work must be done today.
Yes. But I think this is a good stopping point, because I think hopefully, if you're watching this, you understand there's not just time in your business that you need to work on marketing, but there's time that you can get back if you are willing to find a team like us who can do the basic needs of marketing for you and also help you innovate into what needs to happen to grow your business. And also know that if you're not seeing the results today, don't give up on it, because just like everything in your business, it's going to take time and consistency. And if you need help with that, or you need help strategizing or even doing year-end planning when it comes to your business and figuring out what you need to do next year, get on our calendar, because
Yes.
we love spending time with new clients and new prospects, and figuring out what they need to be doing in their business, what we can be taking off their plate so they have more time, and overall what those new ideas, new products and services mean, and how they can actually get it done in the time frame that they need.
Let's get them out of your head and into action.
Yes. So we will leave a call to get, well, we will leave a link, not a call. We will leave a link to get on Alicia's calendar. And we look forward to figuring out how we can continually move your business forward. Until next time, we'll talk to y'all later.